Okay, happy weekend, but we got to have an emergency Patreon and talk about the Real Housewives of New Jersey, their reunion being canceled. I'm kidding. I don't have a Patreon. However, the reunion is canceled. So, subscribe, like, turn on the notifications, do all that good stuff, and let's chat. All right, guys. Literally this morning, I was scrolling on my phone after I finished a workout with my trainer. And what do I see? I see blog pages posting about Real Housewives of New Jersey, the reunion being canceled. Look, in one of my updates about Real Housewives of New Jersey, I covered it on the Morning Goss, which is a daily segment I do here on Bravo Hot Tea. We did talk about the reduced viewership for Real Housewives of New Jersey. Episode 4, which aired last Sunday, was in the 600s, and that is quite low for New Jersey. Also, New Jersey is extremely top heavy. Teresa, she is the longest running Real Housewife. She makes about what, like 2 million? Melissa probably makes about a million. Marge has been on the show for a while, maybe 750-ish. Aydin's been there for a while. Dolores makes more than Marge, which Marge hates. Dolores is also up there. She's done quite well for herself for, playing Switzerland all these years. All right, let's get into the meat of it. So, the Real Housewives of New Jersey won't have a traditional reunion for season 14. My understanding is season 14 is already a shorter season. And all the major news outlets like People are now covering it. This news broke out earlier in the morning, and it seems like People and all these other sites are covering it in the afternoon now. So a reunion is meant to have resolution, and it's clear in the season finale that there is no path forward in that type of setting. As an insider familiar with the situation tells People, the network is figuring out a different concept to wrap the season. I don't have the image here, but in one of the pages that came out with this goss, I think it was Bravo and Cocktails on their site, they mentioned something to the extent, or it could be another one, how Andy is going to do a one-on-one sit down with each of the cast members. I'm going to get to Andy later. So the season finale, in the trailer, we see that there's this big dinner at, I guess, a place called Rails, which is famous in the New Jersey scene, and they filmed quite a bit there over the years. We see Dolores at the end looking so amazing. Look at her, like stunning. And she's the only one left at the dinner table. On the trailer, we saw heated exchanges between Teresa, some of the other girls, who else? Margaret, and then the only one left is the Dawn, Dolores, Catania herself. Honestly, how are you going to have a reunion when no one wants to speak to each other? I mean, it makes sense. And earlier, I also came across the what is it? All about the Real Housewives confirming that the reunion has been canceled. Essentially, since the cast is so divided, with many refusing to film with each other, that Bravo thinks it's best to take a long pause on Jersey. It's giving RHONJ vibes, so tread lightly, Jersey ladies. The reunion was set to happen on June 27th before production let each cast member know that the reunion was canceled. Wow. So today is June 1st, and they essentially had about a month to figure out their reunion looks, if there was a theme and whatnot. And timing wise, it makes sense. Reunions are filmed around the halfway mid-season mark as the show is airing. They will, of course, get the remaining episodes in advance of the reunion so that they know, they all come in prepared. And this is a shorter season. So timing wise, the date of June 27th makes sense. However, it's good that Bravo, production, behind the scenes, all the ladies now know, oh, because we're not getting along, there will be no reunion. We're gonna get into, a lengthier chat one by one, go through each of their faults for the demise of the reunion. But the reunion, like, how are you going to have a reunion when half the cast isn't speaking to one another? What is Andy supposed to do? It's like pulling teeth. And I have bit my tongue for quite a while regarding all this stuff going on behind the scenes with the bloggers, the lawyer, the PI, all this stuff. I think here on this channel, I will have a sit down with you guys discussing it all. It is quite a lot of information. The 100 tweets, the 100 images, the text chains, um, like I said, lawyers, PI. It's just a lot happening. Also, before I get to each person, I'm not surprised that the reunion has been canceled. When the cast tries to pre-produce themselves or a storyline, or they do underhanded work behind the scenes, what exactly do you think is going to happen? And in Jersey, it's gotten so toxic to a point where they're coming for each other's businesses, each other's livelihood. And frankly, that is messed up. None of these women are innocent with the exception of like maybe the newer ladies. But let's start with Margaret. Um Margaret, if you listen to her in all the interviews she does, or how she talks about her friends, some of the other women on the show, and then obviously her beef with Teresa. I understand Margaret's beef with Teresa, but Margaret's not innocent herself either. Margaret, in my opinion, has done quite a lot of underhanded behavior behind the scenes. I truly believe she spread the rumors about Jackie and Evan 2 seasons ago, I believe it was, just for like good drama. And I'm going to get to Jackie because Jackie's been talking a lot. And then the whole Margaret telling people, you 100% have her back or you don't. The whole not talking to each other, not filming with each other. This woman is almost 60, guys. Like, keep that in mind, okay? There's 6-year-old children on the playground reconciling with other kids they just fought with like 5 minutes ago. And I'm coming for everyone, guys. Here on Bravo Hot Tea, you guys better subscribe and turn on notifications because I'm not here to pick sides. I've been watching this show pretty much since the initial season. Wow, I was so young. I'm still watching it, clearly. And it's always been toxic. Jersey has always been toxic, but it's gotten to a point where even behind the scenes, they don't know what to do. Anyways, Margaret, she's no angel. She can blame Teresa all she wants. Granted, Teresa and her team does a lot of underhanded work as well, but Margaret, she plays dirty. We know that. Now, Jackie might not be a full-time cast member this season, but she is talking. She is yapping away on all the promo that she's doing. And she basically said that Margaret gave her and Jen Fessler an ultimatum saying, like, oh, we should all like quit the show if Louis comes back. And I'm not going to say what she said about Jen Fessler. We'll cover it in a different video. This video is already going to be a bit long, but stay with me. It's like super juicy goss. But Jackie was like, no, Margaret, I'm not going to like quit the show for you. Because Margaret, as we have seen, she rules with an iron fist, I think is the term. So good for Jackie. I don't think Jackie is one of the reasons the cast is, in this position. I don't think she's one of the people who's put them in jeopardy. So let's move along. Jennifer Aydin, your days are numbered. Have we seen Jennifer Aydin do any interviews? Because to my understanding, from what I've seen, I've even seen Jen Fessler do interviews, and she's a friend of. We've seen Jackie do interviews, she's a friend of. We've seen Danielle and Rachel do interviews, and of course, they are full-time housewives. We've seen Teresa do interviews. We've seen Melissa do interviews. The only person we have not seen do any interviews is Jennifer Aydin missed 16 bathrooms from Paramus. I think this that she's done so. The whole her sharing screeners with bloggers that has come out, and it's not even like alleged anymore. It's kind of like confirmed at this point with emails and whatnot. I'm sure she enjoyed her paycheck from Real Housewives of New Jersey all these seasons. I don't know where she's at. I'm going to guess at least around the half a million mark, considering how long she's been on. I don't understand where she spends that money besides all the Chanel and her Amazon fashion. I've said it before, I'm going to say it again. This girl is young and pretty. She just needs a stylist and she'll be on the right track. But, anyways, Jennifer Aydin is going to be the scapegoat. They have to make an example of her. There's just no way she can come back. I just don't see how they can justify her coming back. Miss Dolores Catania, if they do let go of Dolores for an upcoming season, like that's, let's say they keep the show, but they reboot it and maybe give it a Real Housewives of Atlanta makeover, not a complete reboot like they did over there in New York. I don't know what Dolores's faith will be. Dolores has done an amazing job playing Switzerland. I mean, what else is she going to do? At least she's talking to, you know, the other cast members, so that's great. Um, Rachel Fuda and John Fuda, it has gotten so ugly. I think they are also part of the problem for Bravo's decision to not have a reunion. Maybe they're okay with talking to everyone in the cast. However, there's a lot of gross stuff going on behind the scenes, like I said, with PIs and whatnot. But that's because Team Teresa and Louis kind of started it. But now that Teresa and Melissa aren't talking to each other, it almost feels like the Fudas are stepping in to the places of the Gorgas in feeling that fire with Teresa and Louis. Who else we got? Danielle, she's talking to everyone. She's good. I think at this point Danielle kind of sealed her fate. If she's not going to tell us more about what the situation is with her family, why she doesn't talk to her dad or she doesn't reach out to him, even though he reaches out to her, and the situation with her brother, I don't really see why she's on. She has a really cute family. All of that is great. Anyways, moving on. So, Melissa and Teresa. I don't know why I said Teresa's name like that. No, one of them has to go. Teresa, maybe they'll give her a spin-off. That's one way to reboot the show, I guess. Kind of give it an Atlanta reboot where we take away some of the major players. So Teresa, she can, I don't know, go off into the sunset with Louis and their 7 kids. Is it 7 or 6? 6 kids. And have their own show, see where the girls are, what's going on in their home life, what business is Louis going to do next. There could be something there. Keep Melissa, or they get rid of Melissa. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen at this point, but it's been a pretty decent season for Melissa. Guys, I'm going to come back to Teresa. Jen Fessler, I don't think she's part of the problem. If anything, I think we need to see more screen time with Jen Fessler. And quite frankly, we've seen her more in more scenes than we have seen Jennifer Aydin. However, Jennifer Aydin is a full-time housewife this season, and Jen Fessler continues to be a friend of. Jen Fessler, to me, I'm sure we'll have her back. She's fun. She's, light. I don't really see her involved in the toxicity behind the scenes. So kudos, Jen Fessler. Back to our girl Teresa. I don't know what to say. This is extremely disappointing. When her and Juicy Joe obviously broke up, they both went to camp during their respective times so that the girls wouldn't be without a parent. I really thought this would be a turning point for Teresa. Okay, you did the crime, you did the time, we can move on. And quite frankly, I think she got respect from doing the time. And people thought, okay, she's back. She's going to do some cookbooks, this, that, good for her. But then she met Louis. And guys, before I even had this channel on TikTok, I had this whole video on Louis being oh god, what is that called? There's a term. I'm gonna come back with the term. Give me 1 minute. Dirty John. It just came back to me. He was giving us major Dirty John vibes. Like really, you just happened to meet Teresa on the boardwalk. Anyways, let's take it back. We won't call him Dirty John anymore. They did end up getting married. They look happy. Good for them. But then we see Louis indulges her in all this business with PI and investigators and dirty lawyers who want to get in bed with bloggers, metaphorically. I really think Louis is going to be Teresa's demise. I'm calling it here. I don't trust the guy. Everything he does is odd. It's just odd. And why is the man always red? You can't trust a man that's always red, okay? If you guys get nothing from this video, take that with you. Never trust a man that's always red. But getting back to Teresa, she did this to herself. She's a big part. Her, Melissa, Margaret, I think are the key players as to why we're in this position. No one's talking to one another. The dirtiness behind the scenes and how they move, it's just gross. And when I say it's gross, I just mean it's not good for the show and it's very uncomfortable for the viewers to watch at this point. And the low ratings make sense. All right, let's talk about our boy Andy. In one of the blog posts that I saw regarding the reunion, of course, the reunion is canceled. But what they might do is instead of setting up a day of production where the the housewives come in to film, they're in full glam, they have their teams, they're all congregated in one building, including their husbands. Andy might go from house to house in Jersey and film one-on-one with the cast. I mean, it's a possibility. It's one idea we can, put out there. I would even say have Jen Fessler and Jackie film together because they both seem like they're even keeled and, kind of on the same track. Aydin, I don't think he's even going to film with Aydin. He does not like Jennifer Aydin. We've seen that time and time again. Teresa, he's obviously going to film with. She is the show. Whether you like it or not, you guys can comment what you want in the comments. We can disagree. That's totally fine. Also, guys, give this a like if you're, enjoying these sort of conversations and whatnot, and comment below because, I'm just the medium. I want to know what you guys are thinking as well. He likes Dolores. I'm sure he'll film with Dolores. Who else? Danielle, Rachel. I'm sure he'll film with them. I don't think I'm missing anyone else. Oh yeah, Margaret. And Margaret has a beautiful home, so I'm sure he'll go to her house and film as well. What is he gonna do? Like take 3 days to film with each one of them? What, he's gonna leave his 2 kids in New York and go over the bridge to Jersey to film with each one of these ladies because they won't talk to one another because there's going to be no resolution. Like this to me is giving the end of Real Housewives of New Jersey as we know it. I don't know about a full reboot because what they did in New York, they would have to find a totally different cast. But because they've already inserted Rachel Fuda and Danielle, who are younger and in their 30s, maybe we keep them and then they have a new cast surrounding Fuda and Danielle. Teresa gets her own spin-off, and then the rest of the ladies, I don't know. It's been nice knowing you. And that's one way to move forward. Guys, this is all speculative. This info just came out literally this morning. We can speculate all we want. It's a lot of fodder at the moment. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Subscribe, get your girl to 500, and I'm sure we're going to have lots more conversation on this. I will catch you all later. Have a wonderful weekend.